detective thrill me.
Thanks for joining us. Mortal Kombat 2021. You know what, Jared? It was a kind of a breath of fresh air when I put this one on. I don't want to spoil it, but there was kind of a breath of fresh air. So we'll get into it a little bit further. But before that, I just went back to some telly. I watched the second episode of Man on Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Up the action a little bit. We kind of get, we're into the kind of kidnapping blokes and threatening threatening to cut things off or pour shit on them or whatever. Like, we're getting into that.
Any bombs up clackers yet?
No one's going to bomb up the fucking clacker just yet, but I think we're warming up. Yeah. We're warming up. I watched a couple of episodes of The Pit, season 2. It was still really good, but you can feel like certain storylines have been kind of shoved in. It's not as natural, right? So we're now starting to hit a storyline where, people can't pay for Medicare, which is your classic storyline that comes up in all of these shows, but there's something unnatural about it. It just feels a little bit like they've kind of gone, oh, shit, we better put that in. So it's still really, really good. And I love the idea of, like, it being a shift.
Yeah.
So people are coming in the door every minute and not everyone's, like, dying, like, in fucking Grey's Anatomy, everyone who comes through the doors on fucking life support. Whereas this one, some guy's got a fucking piece of broccoli stuck deep in his throat. They had to fucking go in and pull it out.
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
A little bit more realistic.
A little bit more realistic. So I like that. And the last one, just before I came here, I watched the first episode of The Burrows, the new Netflix series that's from the Duffer Brothers, I think.
Stranger Things for old people, I believe they've been calling it.
It's definitely that.
Yep.
But so far, it's got a good cast, really good people, and so far it's intriguing enough. So definitely worth a watch, I think.
Yep.
What did you get yourself into?
All right. Buckle up. It's not.
Is this another fucking 5-picture deal that nobody wants to watch?
Look, there's not a lot. There is not a lot, but there's a bit to talk about.
Okay.
So I started things off with continuing a little bit of Dark Side of the Ring.
Yes.
And Dark Side of the Cage.
Dark Side of the Cage.
You also
yes, I also did watch that.
A little bit. Starting with Dark Side of the Cage, enjoyable. And it's kind of what we said is that it's like, all right, well, here's new ground.
Yes.
We can find some dark side here.
We can go back to the dark side.
Yes.
And we don't know, I'm not deep into mixed martial arts. So
no.
It was interesting from that perspective. Obviously, there was an episode on the old fucking War Machine, which is just fucking horrible. Just fucking horrible.
Yep.
That guy's a fucking piece of shit.
But then, of course, we also got an episode on one of my favourite things, which is unusual operators that weasel their way into positions of
Watch
power.
me chase you around the ring with a knife.
Yeah.
That'll help.
Yeah. I have not proven that I've got any credentials whatsoever, but I end up your coach.
Yes.
I end up the professional MMA coach.
Correct. And I don't understand the knife thing. Because the only thing I do is I shoot myself.
Yeah.
I don't really fight back.
Yeah. I'm not fighting fucking Edward Scissorhands. I'm fighting a bloke with fists. So could you teach me how to deal with that?
Yeah. Plus, that guy was a real asshole too.
Lunatic.
Like the bit at the end where he basically got the guy to give him $100,000.
Yeah.
And fucking chastised him and all this. And I'm like, you taught that guy fuck all.
Yeah.
Like you basically
ruined his career.
You ruined the guy's career, and then you've got the hide to stand there and make out like you've been fucking screwed.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It's the only time me and Dana White have seen eye to eye.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct.
Dana White called him a fucking bullshit artist or something, and I was like, well, spot on.
At least Dana White could smell it because the other bloke could not.
No, he couldn't.
That was good. The Dark Side of the Ring was
finished fall away,
strong.
Jared. It
finished strong. There was a couple of really good episodes toward the end. One in particular on a wrestler named Daphne, who sort of found her role as WCW was going tits up.
Right.
So she got a chance. She wasn't a wrestler. She was an actress who got into this role but found a bit of a niche and so stayed in it, but then WCW folded. And so she'd kind of found this love for wrestling but then had to hit the indie circuits and whatever. and then got another crack at TNA something like 7 or 8 years later and suffered an injury. But she had bipolar.
Right.
And it's a very emotional episode because they go through the struggles that she went through and talk to people that were very close to her.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the better ones. And then I think it's the final episode, they talk to the bloke who got stuck with Muhammad Hassan. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but this fella's an Italian, but he got stuck playing a character called Muhammad Hassan.
Oh, no.
Around the time of like 9/11.
Oh, no.
And so it was classic Vince McMahon playing off that.
Oh, God.
And they did things like, when there was fucking beheadings, they made him sort of do the throat slashing in the ring. They made him turn up after the London bombings with a collection of blokes in black hoods and shit like this. Like, he got stuck with some real shit. And his run was about it was like 3 years, 2 or 3 years where they had him doing this stuff. So essentially he had no shot after that.
Yeah.
And he got stuck with an offsider who I think is still in the business, who I think works some of the backstage stuff for WWE. But his story's really interesting because they speak to him the whole time, and it's basically him putting out what he was going through and his reflections on it.
Yeah.
And he's actually, after wrestling, he ended up going into education and fucking was a principal in a school. And so he's got a really solid perspective on things. And it was another good episode just because it was a guy who
we didn't know a lot about.
We didn't know a lot from him.
Yeah.
But he's an interesting cat, and he's fucking moved on with life past wrestling, but was very open about this was my dream, and it was kind of like it turned into the fucking worst nightmare.
They ruined it.
But I'm still kind of grateful that I got to live the dream somewhat.
Right.
So it's really interesting. I would recommend you check out towards the back end. I mean, I enjoyed the middle episodes. Tony Atlas fucking digging deep on why he likes shoes and shit like that. That's interesting stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a good series.
Thanks
I thought
for
it was,
Tony.
like I said to you, I still feel it's not always dark side, but it was a good series.
Okay, well, that's good.
Those 2 episodes did fit the bill, though.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I watched Obsession.
Oh, is that the new Blumhouse one?
Yeah,
Blumhouse?
Curry Barker.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah?
I really liked it.
Okay.
I really liked it. It's very unique, and it's one of these ones where it's not necessarily... It's just sort of someone acting odd.
Yeah.
But the actress is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And some of the shit she does, it's just like... I was sitting there kind of just fucking tensed up in my chair when it was really just her kind of, her tone would shift or she'd scream a little bit and then she'd fucking be back to normal and stuff. And it was just like, fuck me, this is some wild shit. But honestly, it was one of the weirdest cinema screenings I've ever been to at it. Because let me run you through it. She was 9:30 on a Thursday night, so I'm thinking we'll be the only people there.
Yeah.
It was fucking full.
Full at 9:30?
I'm talking people in the front row.
Jesus Christ, that's
weird. It was fucking full. And I'd heard the movie was dark in places, like it was purposely certain scenes where it's nighttime and stuff and they're waking up in the middle of the night, whatever, were pretty dark. So I'm sitting there for the first couple of minutes going, yeah, fuck, they're not wrong. It's pretty dark. And I'm fucking squinting my eyes and thinking, I need to get down to bloody Specsavers or something.
Yeah.
And then one of the employees wanders in and goes, oh, sorry, the lamps, we're going to rewind it because the lamp's stuffed, so it's a little bit dark. I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. So we're sitting there. They didn't rewind it, and the movie just kind of keeps on playing. And then after about the half-hour mark, people just start fucking leaving. But me and my mate were like, he's had to come for about 45 minutes to an hour drive to get in there.
He's stuck.
So we kind of just said, let's just cop it because you can make it out. Like it's not unwatchable. So I'm like, let's just fucking stick it out and then try to claim a couple of freebies afterwards. And so by the end of the movie, a fucking full screening was down to about 8 people. And I'm like, I was watching it going, this is one of the weirdest kind of experiences we've had. Firstly, I'm like, there's never this many people here at this time on Thursday. No. And then it's sort of, started filtering out. And then gradually we're sitting there going, is this lamp going to hold out? Because she looks like she's getting darker. But we stuck it out.
You stuck it out? You got freebies?
Stuck it out. I'm glad we did. Yeah, I think he got the freebies, so we might be able to claim that on something else later on.
That's good.
But yeah, I would recommend it. It's definitely unique, and you spend so much time with the two leads, and I honestly didn't know either of them. But the girl in particular is her performance is fucking wild, and it's really good.
Okay.
I quite enjoyed it. I would say check it out. And the last thing, Adam, is back to wrestling. I did the full series of Hulk Hogan, Real American.
How long was the series?
4 episodes. The last one's an hour. I think the ones before that are between 45 and 50.
Is it 4 episodes too long? I'm just asking.
No, look, it was as expected. It was a slick production.
Yeah.
They got access to some people. Still a lot of people missing, but they got access to some people. They didn't use enough archival interviews and stuff about other people talking about him, I didn't think. You didn't hear much from Andre the Giant, Randy Savage, any of those guys. But it was as I expected. It was favourable to the man. And I'll give him his due. They did talk about him doing his, Make-A-Wishes and things like that, which he did seem to do things of that nature right up until the end.
Yeah.
And they did address his shortcomings, but I thought they just let him off a little bit. They let him just kind of explain it away.
So hang on. Did they address the fucking 8-minute short that's on his fucking IMDb page that we talked about? And how do you fucking walk that off?
Well,
because that's one of the most embarrassing fucking things ever.
Adam, they touched on it, but again, they just let him explain it away. There's one that I'd forgotten about that's fucking
Did he just say, I fucked her?
There's one
is that basically how you put it?
Well, there's one that's, they kind of side with him, that it was private. And I agree with that. It was someone's privacy was invaded. Nobody needed to see Hulk Hogan in the sack. None of us needed to see his work in the cot because it was not impressive.
Not even Hulk Hogan. What looks back on that and goes, geez, I was in peak form.
You know the funniest thing about that?
I ate too much pork. Jesus Christ. And
I burped during
Jared, that was ripe for a gag too.
Yeah. Look, the funniest thing is they talk to the lawyer. And before the lawyer goes on screen, he sits down ready for the interview and then he goes, hang on, I just got to do something. Then he starts doing fucking vocal warm-ups. He starts going, New Zealand, blah, 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 fucking like going on this fucking rambling. And then he goes, all right, I'm ready. And I'm just like, they've really stitched you up by leaving that in there because they've just, in fucking 10 seconds, they made you look like the biggest penis in the whole documentary, including the Ultimate Warrior.
The second biggest because Hulk Hogan was there.
Yeah. Oh, but his penis was small, apparently. Well, actually, sorry, Hulk's was huge, but Terry Blazes average.
Hang on. Hulk Hogan's got a 10-inch fucking, chair leg in his pants, and Terry Blazes got a baby dick.
Oh, that was just funny. But yeah, the other one, Adam, I'd completely forgotten about this, but remember during his divorce where someone had fucking said, I was talking to Hulk, and he said, now I understand why OJ did it.
Oh, fuck, I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, he said that. And they gave him the opportunity to explain that one away too.
How'd that go?
Not good.
No, but also...
Much like turning up at the, getting into politics and things like that.
But Jared, can't you hit him with... Explain to me how Hulk's cock's this big and Terry's is this big.
Well, that's the one thing that the documentary does pretty well is as it's going along, and they speak a lot to his ex-wife, who comes out pretty good. She's pretty open.
Daughter? Is the daughter in it?
Daughter's not in it. The son is.
I think the daughter has come out and said that they didn't even fucking approach me.
Yeah. Well, so they talk
because I think that they knew that she might fucking slam me.
They talk to Mum a lot. And she's pretty good. And the thing that they use her to do and use Hulk to do is to paint the fact that there's a point where he started to believe his own hype. And he started to believe I'm Hulk.
Where was that? That was fucking the moment he
pretty early on.
The ring.
Pretty early on. But there's all these moments throughout where they talk about his acting and then they talk about how the critics thought it was all shit and whatever. And then Hulk's like, yeah, or whatever, I wasn't an actor. But then later on in the doco, he's like, I should have retired early and really ramped up the Hollywood stuff. And it's like, mate, you just admitted you were fucking terrible as an actor. Yeah. So the Hollywood stuff, ramping it up wasn't going to happen.
I would have said, hang on a second, Hulk, let's stop here. Here's a fucking small snippet from Thunder in Paradise.
Well, I mean, it's like Rick James, talking about, I got more sense than that. I wasn't grounding my feet on Eddie's couch. So anyway, I'm grounding my feet on Eddie's couch. I'm like, it looked like that when he's talking about, that kind of stung that they said I was a shit actor. But I'll ramp up the acting. But the other thing is, they really show that he couldn't accept aging.
Oh fuck! You only got to look at him in the last few years.
Well, they basically say he was kind of cooked in WCW. If he hadn't have made the heel turn and it was just the same old Hulk doing the wrestling, they're like the wrestling was already starting to fall off a little bit. So by the time he goes to TNA, there's a couple of wrestling people in there going, "Look, the TNA was she was rough, basically." But there's a couple of sparkling moments in there. I mean, I am always up for, we had that moment where, the Ultimate Warrior died and everyone was running back. Like, he was good for the business. Now we're back to all and sundry.
He's an
happy to shit the Warrior, especially Bret Hart. Bret Hart's got a reputation these days as just.
But Bret is a grumpy
he
dude
is
now.
But in this doco, it comes out perfectly because he talks about when it was time to hand it over, but Hulk came back and he's like, basically Bret's like, there's a moment at WrestleMania where I knew it was turned where I said, g'day Terry or whatever, and he didn't talk to me or whatever, and then I was like, righto, what a fucking asshole. But then there's the Ultimate Warrior bit, and you get all these people, you get like Ted DiBiase, who's barely in the doco, other than a couple of quotes there, and then he's like, he's saying something like, that guy really wasn't up to it. Then you go back to Bret Hart. Bret Hart's like, the guy was a fucking idiot. That's where you need your Bret Hart.
Yeah, that's right.
Like he's happy to
Straight
talk
to
about
the point.
That sort of shit.
The guy was a fucking tool.
It was happy to see the Warrior getting shit canned left.
Were you happy to see the Hulk? Be honest.
Look, it's exactly what I thought it was. It's a puff piece for him.
Yeah.
So where they get to in the end, that even with all the warts and all, the legend of Hulk Hogan still has some play in terms of, the wrestling circles and things like that. But, he got lost in Hulk Hogan. And then when you dig into a little bit of Terry Bollea, that's where you get a little bit of the mess and the ugly comments. And
Terry Bollea was a real dickhead. I suggest.
And I've actually just gone onto YouTube doing it, I like to do this kind of the wrestling YouTube channel circles and things like that. I like to listen to a bit of Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
Jim Cornette's done about an hour on each episode. And basically, as expected, he starts with, well, this is where the timelines are all mixed up, and he's fucking just as they put it. I mean, Hulk's told the story so many times that it's fucking different every time he tells it. Like he just kind of has a tendency to just make shit up to make it sound great for Hulk.
Yeah.
And this doco is no different. So,
okay.
Yeah, it was basically as expected. An enjoyable watch, but, I'm not reading too much into what Hulk's telling me about this.
No.
How much money he was making and all this sort of shit.
No, I don't really want to know too much.
There's one part where he reckons he went to the pharmacy because he was on fentanyl for his back and all that sort of shit. The pharmacy's like, oh, geez, we've never seen anyone take this much fentanyl and still be alive. And I'm like, mate, you can't even have a story about being on drugs without ramping it up like you're fucking Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's the best at doing drugs too.
Yeah. Everyone else dies,
exactly.
but not me.
Yeah. So.
Maybe it's because your heart was like 3 times as fucking big as it should have been.
Exactly.
Due to roid munching, which I'm assuming he explained away as fucking vitamin intake.
Well, Jesse Ventura was the one that was like, hey, he's certainly taking some vitamins.
Yeah, fucking hell. He hasn't got a lot of time for the Hulk either, I don't
No.
All right, that's everything?
That is everything.
All right, let's take a break. And here's the trailer for 2021's Mortal Kombat.
Throughout history, different cultures reference a great war with worlds and species that we didn't even know existed. This war was known as Mortal Kombat.
The fate of Earth is in our hands. Does that mean I'm going to get superpowers at any point?
Mortal Kombat from 2021, directed by Simon McQuoid. Is that right?
Believe so.
He also did Mortal Kombat 2, the new one. It's produced by McQuoid, Todd Garner, who produced Radio.
Classic.
E. Bennett Walsh, who produced Stealth.
Not
and James Wan, who produced The Monkey. The story's by Oran Uziel, who wrote The Lost City, and Greg Russo. The screenplay is by Russo and Dave Callahan, who wrote Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and it's based on the video game created by Ed Boon and John Tobias. It stars Lewis Tan as Cole Young, Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade, Josh Lawson as Kano, and Joe Taslim as Baihan/Sub-Zero. The budget was $55 million. The box office was $84 million worldwide. And before Jackson Sub-Zero fight, a wall can be seen having down arrow, right arrow LP spray painted on it. That is the video game command for Sub-Zero's Ice Freeze move in the Mortal Kombat games. All right. What was your take on this, Jared?
So I really quite enjoy this one. It has more things that they went off track with than the 95 version.
Okay.
And sort of forged their own sort of path or ideas with that didn't play out.
No.
But they also get a lot of the other stuff a bit more right than
Spot
95, I think. And it's a lot of things echo the game. There's a lot more moments where I'm like, oh, that's like straight out. That looks just like this or looks just like that.
Yeah.
Or fatalities and things like that. Fatalities in particular and the gore, they
great.
ramp it up and that's excellent. And I actually think that it being made in Australia and with some of the Australian talent that pops up, it actually sways me even further to the
good to see Echo.
Good to see Echo.
Always good to see Echo.
And he's got a little line in there that's basically, if he had done it in an Australian accent, it pretty much was Echo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually think watching it again, this is probably the third time I've watched it. I think the things that they get right really land with me to the point where I kind of possibly favour this one. As much as the 95 one has the nostalgia for me and still has a few things that I like better, I just think the things that they get right really play well for me here. And not to sort of jump too far into it because I know we're going to cover this, but that extends into number 2 for sure. So I'm going to go with a 3.5, which is on par with what I gave 95. I think that kind of reflects that I still like that one and I like this one at a similar level, but I'll probably have it slightly above.
This one is where it has exactly the same problems as the previous ones in terms of like plot and characterizations. It's fucking gobbledygook. It is. It's fucking gobbledygook, right? But this one nails the fight sequences and the choreography is at the top end. You know, we are actually seeing really quality stuff. The VFX are at a level where it's fucking, pretty impressive. We bring in the fatalities and the gore. And although nobody's getting an Oscar here, we've probably got our best actors in these roles.
Robin,
right?
I would like a word.
Well, here's
it's a short word.
No.
And delivered in a stilted fashion.
Yeah. Delivered monosyllabically. But although I will say this, his counterpart, he's got nothing to talk about either, I don't think.
Did you miss James Remar?
No, I did not. But what I mean is nobody's fucking stretched as an actor, but they are all good enough actors and bring enough of that physical presence, and I'll talk more about that as I get into my likes.
Yeah.
They bring enough of the physical presence to make me believe they could do what they're doing. You know, talk about a guy like Joe Taslim. Fucking perfect.
Perfect.
Like, that's the guy. That's
and
the guy
awesome.
you need.
And actually, yeah, we'll get into him, but yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's not like great performances, but what I mean is that guy, that's Sub-Zero. Like that's the best one we've had.
But the performances, like they're kind of pitch perfect.
Just enough, exactly what you needed. So nobody's stretched, but it's exactly what you needed. I went 3.5 because I went 3 on the original. This is what I mean by a breath of fresh air, Jared. We finally got this fucking partially three-quarters right.
Yeah, I think it's all told. I think it is better than 95.
We finally accepted that we must deliver in the fucking blues.
Yeah.
We cannot continue to try and smooth out this ridiculous fucking plot that's come out of a computer game. Let's just have that there. But then when we're putting foot to us, it's well worth your time. And that's what it does.
Definitely.
Does it really well. Straight out of the gate, gore. Fatalities up the wazoo. People getting fucking flogged.
Yeah.
And right.
Everywhere.
And there's blood and shit everywhere. Like that was the bit that had been missing.
Yes. I will pick out, as we go through the picture, I'll pick out a couple of particulars. But yeah, it's like finally. I mean, this is what the game had been. The game had been pushing boundaries since the get-go, and the previous two movies were like, we've got to
have the kids.
Can't have any gore. We've got to have the kids.
And look, it showed in the box office.
Yes.
This did not do well in the box office. So people could argue, well, the first one made more money.
Yes.
But
the fans,
that's the game. The fans would have wanted this.
That. And the people, as we said, the people that were the kids in 95, like the ones that are going to be going to this one, are now
older. Yes.
You know?
So that stuff, bringing that back was fucking
awesome.
The best part, the best decision they made.
And they very, very intentionally made nods to specific ones. And then we'll kind of, as I said, we'll single them out as we go along a little bit.
VFX, choreography, top notch.
Yeah, much better.
That's what you want. Now, 95 is hamstrung by the technology. If you're gonna be real here, the technology in 1995 was not up to it. But I'll go as far as saying something like, finally, fucking Reptile looks like a fucking reptile. For the first time in the entire series, it actually looks like what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah. And I had a bit of an issue with Reptile in one way, but it looked the part.
Yes.
It looked like, as you said, it didn't look like, some people would probably still say, oh, geez, it's not the best CGI, but I'm like, well, go and watch 95 and see what you think.
Yeah. And just the fights, like when you've got good martial artists in the mix, just like in 95, that's where the movie sings.
Yeah, and I think what they did nicely is they balanced some actors who can do a bit of that with some actors who that's not necessarily their field, but they either used some stunt doubles or taught them to the point where it looked
acceptable.
Looked pretty good.
Or they backed it down to the martial arts. Like, so Sonya Blade didn't really do a lot of heavy martial arts stuff. A lot of it was like close combat punches and shit like that, like close sort of stuff.
Yes.
But I copped that. I lived with that because that to me, that was more what that carried, like what we could do.
But she also got short bursts, like in the first little tiff with Kano.
Yeah.
Where you're like, phew.
Yeah, she can whoop it.
She's got him well covered, and she does a little bit of sort of almost like jiu-jitsu kind of shit to
gets him in like a leg lock or something.
Yeah. So they play it really nicely.
I did like look, I'm not gonna be overly impressive about the plot. Right? I haven't got a lot of time for because once again I think some of the same problems that came up in 95
a couple of
come up here. But I did like opening with the kind of like Sub-Zero Scorpion situation to kind of set the scene.
Yes.
As to where we're going to go off to.
I mean,
because we never really explored that in 95.
That
we just
opening,
kind of went with that.
The whole Hanzo Hasashi Bihan opening is a fucking winner.
Yeah.
Like we set up the classic rivalry, which is sort of a must, but It's a fucking good scene.
Yeah.
The fight is good.
Yeah.
Joe Taslim is required to do a little bit of acting.
And he's good.
He's fucking
he's
good.
He's capable.
The way he switches from when he's talking to the kid to basically, you know, when he's very, pardon the pun, but he's very cold when he needs to be. It's fucking awesome.
And we see him like put his hand out towards the little girl and then he changes into like the frozen ice. I like some of that. Some of that was great.
So Joe Taslim, that was where you first get that. You get that look, and you're like, "Wow, they've got this spot on."
Well, they've got the right person in the role, which I thought was. We finally felt like we were there.
Yeah,
which I hadn't felt in the other two.
Yeah,
even the first one, which I thought was much better, but definitely not in fucking bloody Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Fuck. No. Great to see Acko doing some MMA refereeing.
Great to see Acko.
Great to see him. Always good to see old sort of like old campaigners in the Australian acting world.
Yes, and as you said, like it's good to see him, but then he even carries on a little bit like Acko. I remember he kind of says something about when Cole mentions fighting, and he goes, "Oh, well, fighting requires you to." What does he say? "Oh, it requires a bit of punching and defending. You should try it sometime." And then before he even gets a chance to respond, he's like, "Oh, don't be so sensitive." But he doesn't say it in the Australian accent. But knowing it's Acko, all I could hear was him saying that in the Australian accent. I'm like, that would have fit right in two hands.
Yeah. Shut your fucking mouth. I really like that sequence where Sub-Zero appears on the street and starts throwing the ice.
Yep.
And he lifts it all off the ground at one point and then throws it against the car. I thought that was really, really cool.
Well, you know, they kind of use him a little bit. They sort of take some nods from like slashers or monster movies and things like that. There's a couple of points where
he disappears into the smoke.
Yeah.
And then it reappears later with Jax.
Yeah, I love the way that before he turns up, you just see things sort of freezing over a little bit.
Yeah.
One of my favourites was when he walked into the warehouse before the fight with Jack, and all the mist follows him.
Yeah, that was cool.
Some really cool stuff with what they did
and
there.
I liked Jax. We work out how Jax got his fucking metal arms.
Yeah, nasty.
Yeah, that was nasty. Where he just freezes his arms and then just rips them off.
Yeah,
that was cool.
I thought that was really good, and I think the way that they handled Sub-Zero throughout, as well as Joe Taslim's ability to fucking hold his own in the fight sequences and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think, they nailed Sub-Zero.
Yeah. Josh Lawson, and I'll probably talk in general about the cast here. Lawson's the most charismatic and gets the most fun character to play.
And we finally get an Australian
version. We don't get fucking Mick Brumby doing a fucking...
There's no Lee Governors on the end of anything.
Yeah. But he's the most charismatic.
Yeah.
He gets to do the comic relief. We kind of get, spoiler alert, but we get a heel turn from him at the right moment, as expected.
But we also, like, almost every line he gets is a chance to really...
Yeah.
Fucking go off.
Yeah.
Like, even from the get-go, what's one of his first lines when he's fucking chained up and he's like, "Oh, let me out," or whatever. He's like, "Wait there." And he's like, "Yeah, I was about to go for a walk. Maybe I'll stick around." "You fucking idiot." He's just going off.
That's right.
And he's allowed to continue that the whole way.
Yeah.
And it works. Works beautifully.
Works well. And again, coming back to the acting, okay, because I've got some negatives here too. But from a positive standpoint, everyone probably fits the role better than any of the previous versions.
Yes.
For different reasons. So obviously, Josh Lawson's Kano, he's Australian for one. He's actually Australian.
That fits.
And he's a loose cannon and he gets to sort of go off. Obviously, we've got Joe Taslim.
Yep.
He fits nicely because of his martial arts background, but also because he's got some pretty good acting skills when you actually needed to do something just a little bit more than what they would have asked in 95.
Yep.
And even Jessica McNamee, right? It's not a great performance, so to speak. But again, I looked this up and I don't know why, but she looked a lot taller.
Mm.
She's only like 5'6".
Yeah.
But she looked and felt like she was quite fucking big. solid. And that's a good thing.
Yes.
I mean that in the nicest possible way, in a sense of like you believed she could kick some ass, right?
Well, I'll go even further. Like, I remember when she was cast, and obviously we're probably more likely to be familiar with her because she's Australian, and we've seen her in things like, you know, Little Role in the Loved Ones and some TV and stuff here. She's by far the best Sonya that we've had,
definitely,
by a long way. And I was really shocked when I saw it. I'm like, she's fucking perfect.
Yeah,
she's perfect for it. And that, as you said, I think that kind of goes for most of the, like, Kano especially. Kano's probably number one in the great casting sort of stakes. Jessica McNamee, for me personally, is right up there.
Yeah.
But everyone else across the board is, like you said, it fits really well.
It just fits the role, and they understand what they've got to do, and they deliver.
And even so, you know, we'll get into things like Cole Young, but I actually like Lewis Tan. I think he's a decent actor for a guy that's there mainly because he can kind of bridge the acting and the martial arts thing. Like when you look at someone like Robin Shaw, who was cast for the same reasons, really, Lewis Tan laps the bloke.
Well, that's the thing. He's going to go with my dislikes, but it's going to be kind of like a backhanded dislike.
Well, you know, I look at McCard Brooks. I mean, I'd seen him on stuff like the
American Gladiators.
The CW. No, he was on the CW. He was Jimmy Olsen on the CW.
Supergirl.
Was it Jimmy Olsen? Yeah, it was. It was Jimmy Olsen on Supergirl, I think. So I had sort of a notion of him in my mind. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that was another one where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I see this.
Yeah, when
he turns up, I'm like,
very solid.
Absolutely, I see it. I'm there. But yeah, I think what's Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion?
Yep.
Small role,
but solid,
excellent. Like I think the casting all round is definitely very much in a
streets ahead.
Yeah,
streets ahead of the others.
Yeah,
streets ahead. The fight with Reptile is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I actually think the lizard kind of looks really cool, and I love when he rips its heart out and he just says, "Fucking Kano wins."
Yep, and that's one of the first nods to the fatalities. Like Kano's one of Kano's early fatalities was ripping the heart out. So that's where you get the fans that have been with it for ages.
Correct.
Thinking, damn right, this is exactly what we wanted in '95 that we didn't quite get to.
Yeah. So I like that fight. It was cool. It was, again, choreography was solid.
Yep.
VFX looked great. And to add those little Easter eggs for the fans of the actual fatality, I think, again, just really solidly done.
Yep.
I got a fucking huge laugh out of Kano's regaling the pilot of the plane about how he was about to take his balls and shove them up his ass. And all I could think of was, did I get Mum a birthday present?
Yeah.
And she's like, your mum's been dead for years.
30 years, didn't she say?
And he's like,
whatever.
That's right. It's fucking ridiculous. Loved it, though.
Yeah.
Pissed myself.
And that's the sort of shit you just get. They obviously gave him, I feel like they gave Josh Lawson sort of open slather to just, he's that type of actor where he's done a bit of improv and shit like that.
And do it.
So you just get a couple of really good, you know, when he's talking to Raiden, he's like, oh, Gandalf. What do I get?
That's right.
Those little things go a long way.
Correct. Look, again, the plot, fucking gobbledygook. But when we actually get to the temple, where they start learning about the fact that they've got these things on themselves and they're going to have they're going to eventually find their power and all that shit. And we actually get them trained by Liu Kang and I can't remember the other guy's name.
Kung Lao.
Yeah, Kung Lao. They actually get trained. Whereas the other movie, it was like we turn up and then it's just punch ups.
Didn't you say there was a lot of, you're not ready?
Yeah, that's right. We're not ready.
Remember Raiden's technique was to prod Johnny Cage about how you fucking make stupid choices until he makes a stupid choice. And Raiden's like, yeah, that's exactly what I was hoping for.
So in this one, they're trained by the people who are readying them for this, for the fucking stopping the 10th title defense or whatever what's going on. Yeah. But I accept that. I actually preferred that because it kind of gave us a little taste of that they weren't ready.
Yeah.
Without saying it.
Yeah. But instead of just saying it, it's like, here's what we can do to get you ready. You guys actually
aren't ready. We've kicked your ass.
Yeah.
But because we're training them up, they're getting ready for the blue.
Yeah. Raiden did a little bit of that too, throwing fucking Lewis Tan into Goro, throwing Cole into Goro.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, thanks for helping him find his Arcana or whatever.
But I kind of preferred that to the way that it was done. It wasn't even done in the other movies.
Yeah, exactly.
So I appreciated that.
One of my favourite Easter eggs is around this time. The old nod to, the real old school Mortal Kombat games where people used to spam the sweep.
Oh,
The bit where Kano gets, he's like, fucking try that again. And he goes down again. Yeah, and then he jumps one and gets fucking caught with it again. I'm like, that's the sort of shit where it's very clear, along with the way that people act, the way that their moves look, the fatalities. It's like, you guys have done the work.
Yeah,
and you've dug into what people liked about the games.
Yes.
So, yeah, definitely.
And I think that's more in keeping with what we didn't get in the other movies.
Yeah. Obviously, 95 had some of that, but then chose to ignore certain parts of it, whereas I feel like these guys were just like, no, this is why we're going to make this movie fucking 30 years down the track, because people fucking that started with this stuff are still here.
I do like, why don't you two get down on your knees and start sucking my sack?
You love a bit of Kano, don't you?
Great stuff.
Yeah.
The flawless victory over the guy by Kung, what's his name?
Kung Lao.
Kung Lao, where he chops that fucking woman in half with his hat.
Mitara which is another, I believe.
Just fucking splits it down the guts.
Yeah.
She's going everywhere.
I'm pretty sure that's another fatality nod, but exactly
he actually
what we
does say
for.
Flawless victory.
Yeah, he says flawless victory, but yeah, like you said, it's fucking
shit's going everywhere. He rides her into it.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And following after that, Shang Tsung does the sucking of the soul on Kung Lao, which is the only time he does it in this movie, but looks as expected. Even the colour, that green glow, is what they kind of used in the original games and stuff like that. So it's more care taken, I guess. Shang Tsung, it's probably one of my, we talk about the casting. He's probably one of the people that suffers from the fact that Cary Tagawa was so good in the original.
Yeah, but also he is kind of not given a lot to work with.
No, that's
and
right.
even something like Sucking the Soul, it kind of came out of nowhere.
It did.
Like, I was just kind of like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what's happening?
It definitely did, but I was, as I said, I was overcome with the another nod to stuff that I was familiar with and I wanted to see. So,
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Jack's then going the two-handed slap on, was it Nathan Jones?
Nathan Jones.
Was that the Beast of Boggo Road?
It was the Beast of Boggo Road.
And he just fucking squashes his head and shit
another
goes
fatality from the game, but boom.
I thought that was
what does he say after that? He's like, oh yeah, these motherfuckers work.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because of his arms.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool that they brought him back. That we find him. You sort of expect that he's dead.
Yeah.
And then you find him and those guys are putting shit on his arms and that. I mean, it's just there's no explanation as to what the fuck's going on.
But hey, this is where I don't need an explanation.
Is this nanobots?
No, it's not nanobots.
It must be.
No. They were just using fucking
the same thing that they injected in X versus 7.
No, they were recycling parts. They were. Yeah, I think as goofy as the scene is, I love that they match them up 1v1 because that's where you get. They go two people one-on-one. They go Kano and Sonya and Reiko and Jax. And then they go, we'll take the other two. But I'm like, that's where you get the game style action.
That is the best part of the film. It's just an all-out fucking assault of people belting the shit out of each other. And it moves at a nice clip. We finally get to what we've sort of been building to.
Yep.
Is this kind of showdown.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem to be within the rules of the...
No, but at least they said earlier the Elder Gods don't care about rules.
So that stuff is great. You know, you got the dragon eating one bloke, Sonya blowing a hole through another fucking person.
Yep.
Like all that shit really, really cooks. That's the best period. That's when the movie takes flight.
Yes.
And delivers exactly what we were hoping it would.
Yep. And even in the midst of that, we get something that stank in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, where we actually get Liu Kang's fatality with the dragon.
Yes, yeah, that was cool.
Fucking cool.
That was super cool.
Yeah.
I did like Scorpion coming back into things.
Yes.
The showdown with Sub-Zero. And don't they use the old reference of get over here?
It's held beautifully.
Yeah.
They waited until what? It was fucking 90 minutes.
It was right near the end,
when he first does it. And it's like, yes, that's fucking what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
And again, that all comes in the flow of that last 25 minutes or 30 minutes where it's just all on for young and old.
Yeah.
My last, we gear up for a sequel.
Yeah.
We say that Johnny Cage is going to be there, which we've now delivered.
Yep.
That we were going to bring the same characters back and then also add Johnny Cage.
Yep.
Which, that's how based on the box office, I'm actually a little surprised we got a sequel.
Yeah.
But the fact that they committed to it, maybe 5 years down the track, committed to doing a sequel, which I believe costs more. So
it did.
They didn't pinch any pennies.
No.
Is a good thing.
It is. And, again, once we reconvene to talk about 2, I'll kind of dig in a little more, but I think it was.
But it also brings two brings in something that one of my dislikes. It actually fixes one of my dislikes. So
yeah.
I have yet to see 2, but I mean in terms of casting.
Let me tell you, it fixes a few of my dislikes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have any other likes?
I did. The last fight between Sub-Zero and Scorpion's not my favourite, but it just has a couple of really good moments again, such as one of my favourites, Sub-Zero cuts Scorpion, and as the blood's flying, he fucking freezes it into a knife.
Yes. Yeah,
and fucking slashes him as well, and I'm like, God damn, you guys are doing things that we need to put back into the game.
Yes. That was cool.
Yeah, I think that was almost one of my favourite parts. And I also really dug when Scorpion is about to do the kind of famous sort of flaming fatality of his when he kind of stops to say, you hoped I'd burn in the fires of hell, but instead I learned to control them. And then just fucking I thought normally, it's one of those lines that could come off really cringe. Some people probably think it does, but I watched when I was watching it, I was like, damn, that works for me.
Agreed.
So, yeah, and I agreed with the last one, like finishing off on Johnny Cage was a nice way to do it.
And keeping it kind of like you can only see the bottom half.
Yeah.
So, we haven't cast anyone yet.
Yep.
But we know that Johnny Cage is going to come along.
Yeah.
So I think that's and the fact that it's played out is actually a really good thing.
Yep.
And made by the same people too. So it's not like we handed the reins over to someone else to make the sequel.
No, I think that they saw that, hey, these guys got enough right, and some of the stuff they didn't get right, I think we've heard since that possibly it was producers again.
Yes.
So I love the fact that they got to rectify some of the stuff that
producers. Shut the fuck up and just let people do.
I think one of them came down from Warner Brothers. I've heard that we'll talk about it when we get to it. But yeah,
okay.
Dislikes.
Even though you got an opening scroll, and you're constantly referring to the fucking 10 feet you've got to go through, I was just like, these are the same problems.
Yeah.
The plotting is from the game, and it's not. Everybody who's tried this has struggled.
Yeah.
This is the best version of it. Like, being honest, that tells you how bad I think some of the others were.
Yep.
It's just such a fucking mind fuck of shit that you've got to get somehow wrap into a plot that's feasible.
Well,
I think they still kind of struggle.
I'll put it to you this way, Adam. I think
it's a potpourri of poop.
No, well, I actually think in the years that the games have had to develop, the story and the lore has actually got to a place where it's pretty fucking good.
Mm.
But what the problem is you're going right back to the originals, which had the limitation of it's all based around a tournament.
Yes.
So you have to keep
they've
going to
moved
these.
on from that, have they, in the games?
Somewhat. The tournament is still part of the games, but when you play the story through the games now, it's like actually a story, and these characters just come across each other and fight.
Okay.
which still, it's still a way to do things where that makes the story suffer sometimes, and it's not just classic kind of storytelling. It's not just narrative fucking storytelling. You have to keep stopping to make people fight each other, or you have to just squeeze a fight in somewhere. Yes. And it kind of suffers from that. Whereas if you had some of this lore and it was just... Part of me thinks if you had a Mortal Kombat style story where the tournament wasn't necessarily part of it, was just Outworld's taken over Earth and this is how we got to stop it, and these people come across each other, it could actually work really well because the characters they've got are quite compelling. And
we're trying to take too much?
Well, I think
when we could have possibly pared back slightly.
It's a catch-22 because you kind of got to have the tournament. You got to have the fights and the 1v1s.
You got to.
But in saying that, it generally seems to be the stuff that they try to add themselves that mucks up. I mean, I'm long past. It's in my dislikes, but I'm long past the 10-peat. I still laugh at it, but I'm like, okay, well, I've accepted it.
But this is the thing,
you got to win 10 in a row.
But they talked about the tournament. And then we never actually get to a tournament. We just fucking punch on before the tourney starts.
We didn't have the tournament. I mean, can we amend the 10 straight rule?
Yeah.
So we didn't actually get to the tournament.
How does that work, though, if you've won 9 straight tourneys and then this blue happens prior to the tournament?
Well, this is all just the lead up.
Fuck.
I think they said that perhaps it was like a 3-pitcher sort of...
Yeah, that is the idea, yes. And the second one was about the tournament. Yes,
the second one has the tournament.
So that makes more sense.
It makes more sense, but that was never promised. So imagine if this was the only one we got and then we're sitting on, well, we never got the tournament.
Yeah.
But I kind of give them a pass because that last stretch is like...
It's kind of like
not the tournament, but we're going to get our punch-ons in.
Yeah, no. They wisely just fucking... shit, there's no tournament, but let's just fucking punch it up anyway.
I tell you my problem with the story, Adam. It's similar to yours. It's another thing. They didn't learn from Mortal Kombat Annihilation because I fucking shudder when I see the birthmarks now. I'm like, oh, God. In this one, when it was like, okay, you've got the marking and it's the Mortal Kombat mark.
That made reasonable sense.
Well, I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I can see that. But then we start introducing, if you beat someone with a birthmark, you've got the fucking mark. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
We didn't need this. This is more stuff that we don't need to spend time on. Like, you didn't learn from Annihilation that we didn't need that kind of stuff in there.
They did learn something. They learned that James Raymar should not be involved.
They learned we're not calling James Raymar.
And we're not travelling via ball, underground ball.
Exactly. And when somebody said... should we check in with a couple of ex-American gladiators to see if they're available?
No. We need actors. Do you know what they are? See if you can find them.
Yeah, and how did they travel, Adam? It was fucking Raiden just going...
Yeah, that's right.
Then you bang, bang, bang. That's all we need.
Let's get to the underground balls. Get to the underground balls so we can travel.
Quick as the exchange. You got to roll to the right. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Is there a fucking map? Like, is it like the London Underground?
Surely this thing has a GPS by now.
Like now there's 3 stops down the road, we get off.
Yeah.
Fucking come on. Okay. Look, Cole. The guy playing Cole Young. Now, in this particular set of films, he's fucking Daniel Day-Lewis. Like, when it comes, like he is streets ahead of his fucking counterpart. But his performance has a stiffness that I found that I didn't find in Josh Lawson or Jessica McNamee or fucking Joe Taslim. Like, I didn't find that.
So Joe Taslim's probably the exception because he is a bit like Lewis Tan, where I think he's a legit martial artist or has some martial arts ability.
Yeah.
And that landed him acting roles.
Yes.
But as I said to you, the acting parts from Taslim in this I think are really good.
Yes,
I've seen him in other stuff where I think he's really good as well. I think Lewis Tan is definitely in the field of, okay, well, if you're going to require someone to do a bit of on-screen punch on, but also act as well, he's the type of guy you go for. And
Lewis can do it.
Yeah.
But I just felt a stiffness to him.
You're fucking hard on the bloke.
I felt similar to one of his fucking fly kicks to the chest. It was stiff, Jared. Like, it was stiff in comparison to the others, I felt.
So my problem more is I don't have too much of an issue with Lewis Tan.
Is Cole Young part of the game?
It's been talked about ad nauseum. We didn't need Cole Young. He's
useless.
He was created just for the movie.
Yeah, why do we have that?
Really? Like, we've got so many characters in this fucking world. Why are we creating a new one for the movie?
We're desperate.
And everybody, this has been one of the huge criticisms. Amongst the criticisms of this particular movie, it's always Cole Young, no tournament, and one more that I'll get to later on. But yeah, we didn't need Cole Young.
I'll tell you what's missing.
Tell me.
Along with fucking,
Velospheres, number one.
Stiff fly kicks to the chest
James
for Cole Young.
Rima, number two.
No.
There wasn't a lot of and fucking people
we didn't
flying
see
through
guys
the air.
fucking flipping through the air and going, yeah. No, we didn't need that. So we found out we didn't need it, right?
I missed it.
But the cast it lacks some star power, Jared, which is what the sequel...
But you saved that for Johnny Cage.
Correct.
He's the star.
The sequel has added that.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I can agree with that.
And although Carl Urban would not be like what you'd call, he's not fucking Brad Pitt.
So who are you switching in?
But he's got some star power.
Who's getting traded and who's been switched in?
Look, I would have liked to star as Raiden.
Oh, okay. Well, who's getting it?
Jackie Chan. Fucking...
Yeah.
I mean, am I going... Like, am I just fucking plucking out like
no, that would make a bit of sense.
Jackie Chan or
I actually thought Raiden was pretty good.
I did too. Like I had absolutely no problem with him. But what I mean is star power, right?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I mean, Christophe Lambert, star power, Jared. That's commonly known.
Power with a capital P. When you roll from Mortal Kombat straight to an Albert Puin joint, that screams star power.
Like it's star power.
Might I also say an Albert Puin joint that was shot in one location?
Was it?
Seemingly.
So Jackie Chan or someone like that who comes from like the Hong Kong film scene, action scene, someone like that where that's just a little bit of star power.
Yeah,
you're looking at a movie like this.
Fun with
and
that
look,
too.
Jackie Chan would have been fucking perfect for that.
You could have also cast somebody else opposite as Shang Tsung in a similar vein, where that would have been that could have been a lot of fun.
Yeah. So
who do we cast as Shang Tsung?
I don't know, but somebody Bolo. Yeah.
Something like that. But then you would have been complaining about some stiffness in the acting.
Well, stiffness in the joints too, because I believe
Bolo's not a young man anymore.
No, he might be Bolo Young, but he's not young. He's not anymore.
Yes. So he's coming to Australia though, so just be careful what you say.
Yeah.
Because he'll be 3 hours down the road and he will make the trip to remind you that he doesn't need to
drive down on his fucking rascal.
Well, he doesn't need to be young to lay a slipper into your ass.
I know. He wouldn't didn't take much to put me in my fucking place, I'm sure. So, just a little bit of star power.
Yeah,
I think that could have helped.
Yeah, I can.
Right, because we did not have a star. And this movie was budgeted at $55 million. You got money for a star if you needed it.
Yeah.
And it could have been good for box office. You put Jackie Chan, that there's a little bit of box office there. There's something that says, people says, fuck, we wouldn't mind seeing Jackie Chan as Raiden.
Yeah.
We get a few more bums through the door. We would need to include a Jackie Chan fight, though.
Yeah, I think that's what you're sort of not accounting for here is that Jackie Chan hasn't been a star for the last time Jackie Chan was a box office draw was the same time Mortal Kombat was fresh into arcades at him. So
fuck off, fuck off. Are you serious?
When's the last time Jackie
guy was in the Karate
Kid
Kid remake in 2015?
Yeah, he was also in the most recent Karate Kid that did no business.
No, but but you don't understand. Putting Jackie Chan in a Mortal Kombat.
I understand that the star power of Jackie Chan didn't get anybody to go see the Karate Kid.
No, but what I mean is, let's take Jackie and put him into a Mortal Kombat film.
Yeah. So the same people that were turning up for Rumble in the Bronx when they were punching pennies through Mortal Kombat 2 or 3.
What I'm saying here is you could have got a little bit more box office.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but I don't.
And I'm not saying Jackie is the right guy for it. I'm just saying someone with that kind of pedigree, because not only is Jackie
Adam,
have some star power, but he's also a martial arts legend.
it's 20 years ago that Jackie Chan was making the tuxedo. Was that a box office winner or what?
Yeah, no.
He hasn't been a draw in a long time.
Jackie's
Jackie's
been up and down.
What I understand, I completely understand. I think it's great from a perspective of the people that want to see this stuff are probably the same people that were hiring Jackie Chan movies on VHS.
Correct.
But it's all the same. It's the same group that were playing Mortal Kombat and are now in our 40s and 50s that went to see it anyway.
Okay, maybe not Jackie.
If you say to a 10-year-old, Jackie Chan's going to be Raiden, they'll be like, who?
Who cares? Okay, maybe someone else in a different role.
I actually think what you're saying would have been awesome, but I'm not sure how much box office it would have drawn in.
No, it might not have, but I just mean a little bit of
You would have had to cast The Rock as Raiden to
a
get
little
some
bit of
box
star
office.
power in the cast. That's what's missing.
Who could The Rock have been?
He could have been Jax.
Yeah, he could have actually. I like it. You're on a roll here.
I am.
You are on a roll.
Fucking hell, I get this. Do this one. Do this one.
Who's Glenn Powell going to be?
Glenn Powell.
Box office draw.
Glenn
from
Powell.
the running man.
Yeah, like the Thomas Jane of the 2020s.
Man of the 2020s.
Yeah,
Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell. Things slow a touch in the middle portion. When we get to training and shit,
yeah,
we drop the fights and we start talking to each other.
It's almost
At times we shouldn't, Jared.
It's almost carried by Kano.
Yes,
through that stretch.
Just by that sort of like comedic shit that's going on.
Yeah,
but you know, like even the stuff with Jackson and Sonya kind of reconnecting and you know getting emotional. That stuff was lead. Like, it was just lead. It was just leadness.
Lead.
No, it was like, that's not going anywhere. Let's fucking not worry about that. Let's just get Jax back on his feet with a pair of fucking, you know, dirty, great metallic arms and let's boot some ass. Let's stop fucking around here.
Well, on the same token, can I just say, Jax punching the bag with those spindly arms, I fucking burst out laughing. I don't know why, but I started laughing.
She's like, stick and move, hit it harder. I'm like, his arm, he looks like fucking...
He was like kind of like pushing the bag with those spindly little arms, and I'm like, who thought this was the fix that we needed? Only to realise, it's all part of Raiden's tomfoolery to get him to discover his arcana and turn those fucking things from a Datsun to a fucking Ferrari.
What the fuck was that all about?
When you get that first shot of him with Sonya in the background and it's just kind of him side on going, I fucking laughed. I laughed a lot.
Now, I did not dislike this. I just had a sort of adverse reaction to how it actually looked in the face. I thought Goro was okay, but I got a fucking... Yeah, my gag reflex kicked in because he looked like one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I was like,
actually,
fuck.
Well, it's
because I was not enthused with the way they did that.
No, it actually looked better in '95.
Yeah,
Goro.
I think so.
It looked a bit more like the game.
It worked okay in terms of like the movement and everything's now much cleaner and having the four arms is cleaner because you're using VFX.
The look was way better in '95.
Yeah, it's just the
design.
No, I got this fucking awful look of like it looks like one of the turtles.
Is it also? Was Goro possibly wasted?
Very much so. Goro was just a fucking... It
was a throwaway.
Just a throwaway who gets killed in...
And because the big fight is against Cole Young and people are like, well, Cole Young's not part of the game, you don't get any of that buzz from this is what we've been wanting. We've been wanting this character versus that character. Well, I mean, that stuff was still sort of held up.
Well, his guts just fell out everywhere.
But it just lacked any punch because, pardon the pun again, it just lacked any punch because it just, the attachment to Cole Young.
Yeah.
And the Cole Young not having any sort of connection to anything, not, you know, when you go into a Mortal Kombat movie, when they're making this, the first thing you're thinking is, we got to have Sub-Zero and Scorpion. We got that. We got massive doses of it. When you get someone like Jax fighting Sub-Zero, well, that's not one of the ones where you're like, oh, this is the classic battle that we've got to see, but it's like, these are two people we're familiar with, and I'm loving seeing this. We get Sonya punching on with Kano. It's like, yep, that's the classic rivalry from the games. Goro gets sort of stuck with Cole Young, and you're just like, we love Goro. We love Goro, and he's just sort of out in the wilderness somewhat.
Well, Goro, I felt, could have been positioned more closely to Shang Tsung.
Yes.
As like
should have been
a closer sort of like lackey.
Yeah, but he was just sort of tossed aside, unfortunately.
Yeah, which was disappointing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was kind of it. I mentioned that the soul sucking just kind of randomly came out of nowhere, like in a sense of like, I understand it's a fatality, but it kind of like, he's about to suck what's his soul out.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I was unaware of how all this worked and why it was happening.
Yes.
Well, there was no explanation for any of that.
We got to hold on this conversation because part two, I think, will expand. Well, not necessarily clear it up, but I think it'll expand on things a touch, but also for me brings in another possible problem.
Okay.
The third of the big three when people shit on this movie, Arcanas.
Right.
Why? I mean, we're living in a world where I've accepted that Outworld and Earth are on Earth is on the verge of losing the 10th in a row and giving up rights to fucking exist, basically.
Yeah, all right.
I've accepted that. I can accept that people, I mean, if I'm not going to look at it, I've accepted that there's a possible 10-peat between the two realms to win control. Yeah. I'm not going to see someone fling a fireball and think, whoa, hang on, fellas. That's a bit too far. You've lost me now. It's just like one of those things where I'm like, I'll accept it because I've accepted mystical bullshit. I've accepted all of that stuff.
Yes.
I don't need this.
We don't need an explanation
you need to find your arcana. The movie just got better when everyone had their shit.
Yes, and it's just, well, that's it. Once we'd been through our training package, we'd all found our fucking, what we were capable of.
We'd gone from spindly arms to fucking
we fucking got big and muscular.
Metal biceps.
And then we just teed off on each other. That's when the film was at its best. But you're correct. The Arcana stuff was kind of like, well, fucking
another
who cares?
step we didn't need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just let's get them right to it.
Now, I don't know where the Arcanas came from. I believe the thing that came down, again, this is something I just read briefly. I could be wrong on it, but I heard that Cole Young was kind of dictated by Warner Brothers. We need like an audience avatar to be sort of part of the group. And so I don't blame like Simon McQuaid and those guys for that. Arcanas,
but couldn't you just take them one
Arcanas? I want to know who came up with it.
Which fucking idiot producer's note was that? But couldn't you have just taken another currently created character from the Mortal Kombat universe and make them your avatar?
I mean,
well, we did that with Liu Kang.
Well, we repeat similar things in part 2, but we do it with an established character.
Okay, good.
So it's sort of, like I said, there's a lot of problems that they rectify.
I guess you don't have Johnny Cage.
No.
Which you could easily have turned him into.
You could have just gone you could have just gone with that from number 1 or done what the original did and followed Liu Kang or whatever, although you don't seem like you would have been real happy with that if the casting hadn't been the same.
Okay, Robin.
Maybe
don't give up your day job, Robin. You're not getting a call back, I'd suggest. No,
the Arcanas, and especially when you've got Raiden and you've got Shang Tsung.
They could have just gone.
Yeah, they've got powers that we didn't need. Like Raiden doesn't say, well, I had to find my Arcana. So you're a fucking elder god. Again, accepted.
Yes.
I don't know what an elder god is,
exactly.
But you're one of them.
Neither does anyone else. Neither does fucking he. But Jared, you're right. He could have easily just gone fucking.
I reckon in the next movie they should say to Raiden, can you explain this whole elder gods to me, and then have that person go, hang on, no, don't worry about it. We don't need to.
Yeah.
Don't need to hear it.
Yeah. I think it's a campaign of intimidation, the likes of which, you're right, I don't need to hear it.
Exactly.
That's the sort of thing we needed.
I can do without all that.
Just fucking move on with you.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only part of it that I find
capricious, arbitrary.
Yeah, you're fly or something. But you know what I mean? Like, that stuff is like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
It's not what I'm here for.
If Jax's arms just grew back.
Yeah. I don't really care.
I'm not going to start going, well, we can't have that
Adam,
because
I
his
would have
arms
accepted that the monks just whipped them together.
Exactly.
I accepted that they whipped the spindly ones together, and that's equally as much of a stretch.
Yeah, but this is the thing. You gave us that shit, which made me even more angry because I was like, how's this happening? How the fuck's this happening?
Exactly.
Here's this thing of the monks putting shit on the guy's arms.
Yeah.
How? Now you've fucking opened up a can of worms, whereas you should have just came in and here's Jax laying on the table. He's just had his bazooka arms at him.
Yeah, and he kind of wakes up and goes, what the fuck are these?
He's ready to roll.
Cool. Yeah.
It's just like it's like this. It feels like a necessity that we have to explain some of this stuff instead of not worrying about it.
And that feels like, as I said, it feels like screenwriters or producers or something get involved and look at Mortal Kombat and say, well, if we don't do this, if we don't explain this, people aren't going to understand it and they're going to get annoyed that they're just fucking punching each other. It's like, that's what we're here for.
Yeah. No to you guys. I don't understand it.
Exactly.
I never have. I've watched the film.
Yeah.
It didn't ruin the fucking experience that I don't understand the plot.
You know what? I never played the game and thought, fuck, I don't understand that. Once you started introducing birthmarks, I started thinking, what?
Yeah.
How's that work?
You guys have fucking woofed on this, haven't you? Jesus.
Yeah.
That was it for me.
I got a couple more.
I got a couple more. Yeah.
So I actually really like Reptile. I like Reptile in this. I like the fight. I kind of just wish they would have given us a nod somewhere that he was one of the ninjas too in the original. That he had the kind of
he changes
was
into
another
something
palette
else,
swap of the ninja, and he was a shapeshifter, which again it still is in the modern games. Mortal Kombat 1 very well received. I've recently been playing it. I kind of enjoy it.
And most other
people don't. But yeah, it's still a shapeshifter in that stuff. So I kind of would have liked a nod to that somewhere.
Yeah,
even just like. You know, there was things where, you know, we had pictures of Nightwolf and people like that just here and there somewhere. They found really neat ways to just give us a little Easter egg here and there of characters that they maybe thought there's too many, we can't fit this person in, or we'll bring them in future or something. Just do something like that with Reptile. I would have been okay with. Nathan Jones. Look, I love the bloke.
Beast of Boggo Road.
The Beast of Boggo Road. He looks great as Reiko. But some of his facial expressions in the fight suggest that he still thinks he might be in fucking
WCW?
in Mad Max.
Oh, Mad Max. Hell.
With some outlandish facial expressions and, you know, there was a couple of times just before he gets his head clapped. Have a look at some of the facial expressions there where he's kind of looking up and he's wide-eyed and his face is like, oh, shit, looks like he's just had something prodded up his back.
Come on, big fella. Let's get to work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I wasn't watching closely because poor old Nathan's not in it much.
Have another look at it. You'll get
a laugh. We'll
a hell of a laugh out of some of the looks he gives. Like there's some of those ones where he turns around and he's just kind of like he's got the funniest fucking facial expression. But I do love the bloke, and I think he was actually a very good fit for for Reiko.
Again, he's not in it a heap.
No.
He's not really. He doesn't get a lot to do, but
yep. I also can't help but think that, and it's kind of what we sort of asked for in some ways, but here's where it stretches a limitation. I keep saying you've got so many characters that you don't need Cole Young.
Yeah.
The flip side to that is when Shang Tsung presents with his his 4 fighters at the temple, you look at it and you're like, it's Sub-Zero. You immediately look at it and you say, it's Sub-Zero and 3 fighters we can afford to kill.
Yes.
Which is exactly what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's
there was never any real stretching that we might be, one of the others might be in trouble.
Well, the other, Reiko and Natara, they're characters that have been in multiple games, but you look at that group and you're like, Sub-Zero, he's the big boss. You see Melina, you're like, well, Melina's one of note.
Yeah.
and then you see the other two and you're like,
Yeah, we'll kill them.
yeah, we're going to kill you off pretty quick, aren't
Yeah.
we?
So it telegraphs.
So it's kind of the flip side to it.
Yeah.
But I would much prefer that than kind of just, creating fucking CGI monstrosities like Annihilation did to throw in the mix.
Annihilation didn't know what it was doing. This one has a far better grasp on what makes this entertaining.
Way better.
Much better grasp. And it's got better money to use to make it, to put a better product out there.
Yeah.
And no, that's no disrespect to the first film, but this one had a lot more money to work with, and it's worked in very well. They get bang for their buck, in my opinion.
Yes.
So it's a far better product.
Definitely.
Like for me, it's streets ahead in terms of production and stuff of either of the other films, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree.
Streets ahead.
Very much agree.
Anything else?
One thing that I forgot to mention that possibly should have come up in the likes.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about some of the Australian landscapes filling in for Outworld and
loving it?
When Liu Kang's the trek to Liu Kang's temple,
vistas.
Yeah, I think Outworld was. I think was it Cooper Pedy.
Yeah, was it now?
I think I'd rather go to Outworld.
Christ, I'm surprised half the cast didn't fucking disappear into the ground in all the fucking open bloody mine shafts.
Yeah. But no, it looked really cool on screen when they put sort of different coloured tints onto it.
Yes. I thought it looked good too. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, that was Mortal Kombat from 2021. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Podomatic, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Make sure you rate and review us. Send us an email at thrillme@iinet.net.au. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia, Podomatic at thrillme.podomatic.com, and Instagram at thrillmepodcast.au. Keep an eye on the Facebook page, but I can, spoil it and say we'll be doing Mortal Kombat 2. But until then, take it easy, everyone, and we'll catch you all later. Cheers.
Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia, or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.